What's up, y'all? Hope you're doing good. I am Anthony K. Thomas from Wrestling with Rumors, and this is the recap NXT edition. As I felt, NXT was a good time last night, and let's talk about it. So, first match of the night was Chelsea Green versus Sol Ruca. Chelsea Green defending her WWE Women's United States Championship in a solid match from start to finish. Chelsea Green had her secret Hervis with her, and with a little help from them, she was able to retain her women's United States Championship. Up next was Stephanie Vaquer as she was walking to the ring as a double champion, holding both the women's NXT North American Championship and the women's NXT Championship. She talked about why she talked about why she came to NXT, how she wants to face the best of the best while holding both those championships, and also wondering who was going to be next. And right then, that is when Jordynne Grace enters. She talks a little bit, saying how and pretty much saying why she's going to be next. And then out of nowhere, Jada Parker just comes in and takes out Jordynne Grace, saying that she's got next. Gets into the ring, goes face to face with Stephanie Vaquer, and straight out tells her that I am next, and it's me you're going to face. And they have this face to face moment, and it's feeling like a hard hitting match is coming. These two are going to go to war. Second match of the night was Josh Briggs versus Yoshiki. I think I said that right. I believe I said that right. Versus Hank and Tank, and this was a good tag match. I love both these teams together. Hank and Tank remind me a little bit of back in the day of like Demolition a little bit. And Hank and Tank were trying to take some advice from the Hardys and go a little bit extreme, but that wasn't working for them. That was proven when they lost that tag match, and they were trying different things that normally they don't do, and that wasn't working for them. And doing all of those things is what cost them the match. Third match of the night was a mixed six tag match in which it was the D'Angelo family versus the Colleen. And we get midway through the match, and the unnamed mystery masked men attack Tony D'Angelo, distracting the rest of the family of what was going on the Tron, and what they were seeing was happening to Tony D'Angelo. And that allowed the Colleen to take advantage and get the win in that match. We get backstage, and Ava makes it official that next week on NXT, it will be Stephanie Vaquer versus Jada Parker for the Women's NXT Championship. And also next week, Fallon Henley will get her rematch for the Women's NXT North American Championship. So Stephanie Vaquer pulling double duty next week. Up next, our fourth match was Carmen Petrovich versus JC Jane, in which JC Jane got the win. There was a moment where Carmen could have used the steel chair that the Adonis slid into the ring, but she didn't want to go out. She didn't want to get the win like that. She wasn't going to go out like that. She wanted to win the match, honestly. But trying to make that decision gave JC Jane the time she needed to catch her breath and eventually get the win. Fifth match of the night was Ricky Saints in his second match on NXT overall, but first singles match, and it was against Ridge Holland. And this match really was like a David and Goliath kind of feel to it, in which Ridge Holland for the most part, dominated the match. And Ricky Saints got some hits in along the way, but it was really the climbing the mountain kind of match for Ricky Saints, in which Ricky Saints did get the win, and the hard fought win that he I guess the hard fought win to get him over that first really big hump moving forward in his tenure in NXT. Main event was the NXT Underground match, in which we saw Trick Williams versus Eddie Thorpe. This is exactly what it was. NXT Underground, a true battle. Eddie Thorpe has saw many victories in Underground. And this, I believe, was Eddie Thorpe's first loss in Underground, as Trick Williams got that win. And right after the match was over, and he got that win. Trick Williams got that win by TKO. Total knockout. But after the match, Trick wasted no time and called out Obafemi. Obafemi seemed like he was ready for him as he comes out, shirt off, ready to go. Right? He's ready to go, and they're face-to-face with each other. And then as they're face-to-face with each other, it gets dark, spotlights start to go, and here come the masked men, who now we know are called Dark State, all in one word. They come out, their music is playing, and here comes Javon Evans, gets right in the middle of them, like he's ready to join them to take on these guys. And Trick Williams, hand to face, pushes Javon Evans out the way. And chaos blows up after that, as Obafemi and Trick Williams throwing hands, going at it. You got everyone who was a part of NXT Underground sliding into the ring, trying to keep these two apart. But chaos is chaos, right? It's going to happen. And then, out of nowhere, Javon Evans comes flying in and just lays out Obafemi. And Trick Williams is like shocked for like a moment. He didn't see it coming. He's like, where did you come from? And then nothing happens with Dark State. They're just kind of like in the crowd a little bit, watching all the chaos that's happening in the ring. And there's a moment right at the end of NXT as Javon Evans and Trick Williams are like, they got that stare down going, like something's about to go down. Like they're about to throw hands at each other. And then that's it. And then we fade out on NXT for this week. NXT this week was a good time. The matches were great. Next week on NXT, as I said before, Stephanie Vaquer is pulling double duty as she's got both championships on the line. NXT Women's Championship match against Jada Parker. And then right after that match, NXT North American Championship match against Fallon Henley, as Henley gets her rematch. Also, next week, the NXT Heritage Cup Championship is on the line as Lexis King goes up against Javon Evans for that championship. So, lots to look forward to next week. 3 matches with more to come to be announced as we get closer to next week's NXT. But this week's NXT was a good time. We are definitely in the thick of Stand and Deliver season, and it does look like that we're going to get that one-on-one match between Trick Williams and Obafemi, and finally squash that once and for all. Honestly, I feel like this is the final match this will probably be like that final match for Trick Williams before he goes to the main roster. I don't think Obafemi is leaving NXT anytime soon. I believe he's going to be who he is, and that is the ruler of NXT for the rest of this year, and then possibly next year, the ruler is going to become the ruler of NXT. Is going to trade in that name and be the ruler of Raw or SmackDown. But that'll do it for the recap of NXT. It's a good time. And I will see y'all on the next one. Oh, before I go, I got a recap episode of Monday Night Raw. If you haven't seen it, it's in my channel. Go ahead and check that out. And also latest episode of Wrestling with Rumors. I'm talking about some of the rumors from this past week, doing a recap from SmackDown, and also doing a bit of a recap of TNA Sacrifice, all on my AKT Publishing channel on YouTube. Go ahead, check it out. Link is in the bio. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what y'all thinking about what's going down so far within the season for Stand and Deliver on NXT. And I'll see y'all in the next one. So until then, keep your head up, take it one day at a time, and don't forget to take care of yourselves. Peace, y'all.